Hello, Internet. I'm Jeff W. Roche, also known as The Man Strikes Again, or TMSA for short, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today in this video where I'm going to show you a nerd apartment update. Okay, first of all, this stuff on the floor is still here, okay? It's embarrassing, okay? I don't want to talk about it, okay? But, you know, I'm a busy guy, and things don't always get done in the time that I would like them to get done, unfortunately. That Dark Knight trilogy is something that I might possibly do another YouTube video on, but I don't really know until I get around to doing it. But I can say that that box right there just came in the mail yesterday. There's something really magical inside that box that you definitely are going to see in the near future on this YouTube channel. I'm about to show you something that I really, really, genuinely, and truly love. And I'm just going to say, right off the top, haters be damned. Okay, now that that's out of the way. The Star Wars prequels posters, episodes 1, 2, and 3. My brother sent me these for Christmas, so shout out to him. Before that, there was 2 Flash posters, and the middle one was Ghostbusters. I gave Ghostbusters away as a gift to someone, and the Flash posters I kept because I'm pretty sure those are like limited edition posters. But more importantly, now we have Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3, the prequel trilogy. So the idea really, if we come around, let's see if we get a good wide shot here, is to get the whole saga going around this way, right? Which means I put those here, right? It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to do that, I just need Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. But that's pretty cool. That's a new addition to my apartment from this year that I really like seeing. And they're also painted by, every nerd is going to know this already, every Star Wars nerd, a guy named Drew Struzan, who I believe is retired now. But he did all these George Lucas, Steven Spielberg posters back in the day, and it has this distinct painting style. He did the Goonies. He did a lot of your most famous iconic posters. He did Indiana Jones, and I think he came out of retirement to do the Star Wars sequels. Don't quote me on that, though. Also, it's worth noting in this moment that this year is the 20-year anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3, which came out in May 2005, and we couldn't believe it. Star Wars was over. You understand? It was over. Now it's not over again. Anyway, this is my Star Wars Black Series collection, except for Jabba in the middle there. He's a 1983 vintage. You can also tell because he's not to scale with the other characters. The 1983 ones are like 4 inches tall. These guys are 6 inches tall. So there's that. Most of the ones standing here, I got loose, not in the package. A couple of them I took out of the package because they would look better as a display. But the takeaway here today is that guy right there, Darth Maul. He's our newest addition. And if you saw my Simi Valley Toy Con video, then you will know that is where I got him. And now he has his new home there, back there with Count Dooku and the Mandalorian. Masters of the Universe on VHS. I got this from Simi Valley Toy Con. Sits here with other VHS tapes, Batman, Independence Day, and Close Encounters. No, I do not own a VCR. This is here purely to help create an 80s aesthetic type feel. Speaking of which, original Nintendo Entertainment System. I got this about 12 years ago and it has mostly sat in storage since then. But this past year, I pulled it out of storage, took it apart, cleaned it up, used a process known as retro brighting to restore the outer shell, put it back together, and it still didn't work that great. So I took it to a shop in LA. They did some work on it, and now that feeling you're feeling, that rush, that's the 80s kid nostalgia hitting you and hitting you hard. I say go with it. It is worth noting that the Nintendo that you just saw is not the same Nintendo that I got from Ventura Toy Con. That would be this Nintendo action set right here that I brought home from the con, tested to make sure it worked, and then since then it's just sat here in this box. But I can't say enough about how 80s kid rad it is to have a complete Nintendo action set in the box like this. And fun fact, the zapper gun does not work on today's flat screen TV. You gotta have one of the old big box CRT TVs. Back then, in the 80s and 90s, we just called it TV. But now we have flat screen TV and the gun doesn't work with that. So there you go. That part's not as rad, but the rest of it's pretty rad. This here is my ever-growing, ever-developing vintage DC collection. It started out with these Flash guys who are in the background. Those 5 ones. This is a DC Direct. And then the other 5, I really don't know. But I do know that this is the, I think, Toy Biz guy. You know what? I don't even remember. But what I do remember is that this is the Kenner Superpowers Batmobile from '84. I had this as a kid. Now I have it again. And it's kind of a magical feeling. And the rest of these are mostly either Kenner Superpowers from the early 80s or Toy Biz from the late 80s, early 90s. Toy Biz is most well known because they made the '89 Batman when Michael Keaton was Batman, which is this guy right here. This is the premier Batman of my childhood, okay? And I'm sorry, but Michael Keaton is my Batman and always will be. That's just all there is to it, okay? I don't care how many more freaking Batmans they make. I don't care who gave what performance. I don't care who directed what. For me, it's Michael Keaton, all right? And Tim Burton. That's my childhood Batman. That's the definitive Batman. He's going to be Batman for the rest of my life. I don't know how many more times I'm going to say Batman, but I think I got my point across. Anyway, some of these guys I had as a kid. Most of them I didn't. But now as an adult, I'm collecting as many as I can. So it's a slow and growing collection on display here in my apartment. That's just some of the cool stuff I have in this apartment that I can highlight in future YouTube videos, like this power glove right here. But we've now reached the end of this video. So I'm Jeff W. Roche, also known as The Man Strikes Again, and thank you so much, so very, very much for joining me today.